And those subjects are listed at the end of this presentation, so we will go through that. And with that, let's get started on this presentation. For today's agenda, we will be covering the following topics. First and foremost, what is social project and work management, and how is it changing the way we manage work today? The project management world has changed drastically in the past 10 years, as I'm sure you all are aware. From managing only projects to a new understanding where managing other work that impacts projects has become a critical piece of project success. And as project management discipline evolve, we have two. There are three key subjects and insights that occur so frequently and consistently and have such a substantial impact on the ultimate success of any social collaboration strategy specific to communities that we will focus heavily on these three key areas in today's webinar. And they are stakeholder management and engagement, leveraging existing communities, and community champions. And finally, we will wrap up by discussing specific tools for building those communities. Matt Willey, an EPM Live product manager, will walk us through a few social project and work management tools that you can leverage to build communities within your organization. So with that, let's get started with the details. Okay, what is social project management? This is just an overview. Since this is the first webinar in a four-part series on social project and work management, I thought it only fitting to go ahead and start with the basics. Wikipedia defines social project management as a non-traditional way of organizing projects and performing project management. In its simplest form, it is the outcome of the social networking paradigm to the context of project ecosystems and is a continued response to the movement towards distributed and virtual teams. I like to think of it as the way we interact with others outside of our work environments. And now we must foster a technology-driven work environment that closely mimics the social experiences that employees have outside of the work environment. In today's project management, it is nearly impossible to meet objections, milestones, etc. without everyone's participation, as I'm sure that you've all experienced. And the bottom line is that distributed teams lose significant communication value when they are not given appropriate tools to collaborate. It is also a new way of thinking that empowers team accountability versus the ownership residing on the PM, or actually the team alone, the team lead alone, I should say. And it also exposes expertise within your organization. And in addition, it is traditional now to not only have internal teams collaborate, but also external teams such as customers and vendors. And social project and work management is most often enabled by the use of collaborative software, and many times that software has been inspired in part through the new social media world that we live in today. It is not managing projects or work using social media tools, and this is a common misconception. It is a new approach to actually managing the work. And leveraging existing communities. Now, you must leverage existing communities to determine how social project and work management tools will be defined. It is critical to understand existing processes currently in place when defining requirements for new tools. The new tools must map to the processes already in use versus modifying those processes to fit the tool. And projects live everywhere, and they are representative of many different focus areas. For instance, an IT PMO, sales, marketing, human resources, product development, service teams, etc. Those are many different focus areas. Now, an IT project management community will need to manage projects, schedules, resources, and costs, whereas a marketing community may need to manage events, campaigns, programs, lead activity, etc. And product teams will need to manage products, iterations, and releases, and service teams will need to manage help desk tickets and SLAs. It is critical that each community can access only information that's relative to their work focus. And there are social project and work management tools that specialize in delivering cost-saving PM disciplines to all areas of the business, regardless of the work focus. And we'll show you these tools later in the presentation. Community champions. This is big. And although the goal within communities is community collaboration, the catalyst required to form that community is a champion. As your communities evolve with your organization, so will the need to manage its provision and continually encourage the technology to solve business, information, and collaborative challenges. And the role of a community champion can include the following, and these are just a few: to help maintain the governance for the community, play the role as a lead advocate, lead the team in defining community strategy and the purpose and use, and last but not least, and most of all, importantly, ensuring that the tool provides a benefit to all of its community members. And with that, I would like to hand it over to Matt Willey to review some of the social and work management tools that can help build communities within your organization.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Yep, sure. Thank you very much, Catherine. All right, so real quickly, we're in the EPM Live application right now. In our live demo site, and I have some different use cases that I wanted to go through and just show you how communities can be used to help break the system up into different pieces and really get the right groups of people using the right functionality within the system to help them get more collaborative, to get in there, do what they need to do, work with other people, and socialize. So you know, it really helps with adoption as well, just because there's not as much noise when you come into the system. There's not as much else, you know, other things going on, and you can just focus on the information that's key to your specific community that you're a part of. So real quick here on the side in my navigation, I have two different communities in this particular site, one being my projects community and the other being my workplace. The projects community is really focused on your project managers and maybe your portfolio managers and other people that are specifically, you know, working on the specific projects within the organization. Within there, I can see that there's different apps that have been added into this particular community, and they're all apps that would make sense for that particular user group, that particular community of people. So we have things like project requests, portfolios, tasks, risks, issues, etc. Whereas the My Workplace community is more meant for team members, so they can do the things that they need to do within the system very easily. So if I expand that here, I can see, for example, it has a place where I can just see my work, all the different work that's assigned to me, which would be very useful as a team member. I can also see my timesheets if I want to go fill out my timesheets. I can see, you know, submit time off, and I can also add to-do items and see all the different to-do items that have been assigned to me as well. So it's very much more focused on that specific user group, whereas this user group has a lot more data that they're interacting within the system, that they're collaborating on, that they're socializing on. On the home page then, I can also see that I have a stream here of comments that are then related to these different work items and projects and such that I'm involved with. So this stream is really personalized to me and my community based on the different things that I'm doing. You notice that I see both communities here. I'm logged in with a user that has access to both of these communities, but you can use permissions so that when people come in, they only see the communities that you want them to see. So for example, if I'm a team member, but I'm not really working with all this other project data for the most part, then I can set my permissions within the system so that I only see this particular community when I come in. So to me, my view of the system is just this. So it's really a nice way to be able to break the system up, target specific use cases, specific features and functionality towards specific people so that they can work on that, they can collaborate within their community, and they can have their stream of comments, and they can see their work, etc., and those types of things. Just to quickly take a look at another use case, I'm going to go ahead and switch over here into more of an IT use case. So if you're looking to use EPM Live towards more of an IT scenario, you can use communities to break up the system into different groups based on the different groups within an IT organization or department. So for example, I have an IT assets community, I have a service management community, I have a community for all my applications, I have my strategic planning community, and then just general projects. So you can have all these different communities in here, and then each group of people can have access to just the communities that they're working on. So if I'm working on our help desk, for example, I might just have access to this service management community where I can come in and I can submit service requests or view service requests and pick up service requests. I can then convert those to problems and changes, the different things that I might want to do. Whereas if I was like an application portfolio manager, that might not be so relevant to me. I'm more focused on my applications and the projects around them and maybe the backlog items that are coming in on those applications. So it really just helps you to organize and group the system and target that towards other groups of people. Another use case, you could have maybe your software development community and an ideas community where people can submit ideas and those can become concepts. And by the way, all these different apps that you see in here are all available within our app store. So when you're actually going and installing an app, it's as simple as you just pick which community you want it to go into. If the community doesn't already exist, then on the fly you can just create that just by typing in a title and saying create community. It's as simple as that to create a new community within your system. So it's a really powerful way to be able to break your system up, create areas within your system for each of the different groups of people so they can do what they need to do and work on the work that they need to work on. Another option that's available, and I call it, it's almost like a way to create sub-communities, is there's an option within EPM Live called workspaces. So what I can then do is around a specific project or for a specific meeting that occurs weekly or around a specific issue, whatever it might be, you can create a sub-community or a workspace specifically for that group of people or that team that's going to be collaborating and working on that particular project or that's involved in that particular meeting. So for example, I have some workspaces already created here. This one here, Xbox DVD, is a project workspace, so it's a workspace focused directly on one single project within the system. I'll go ahead and click on that, and that's going to take me to that workspace. Now what this is this is a place where people that are working on this project can go and they can collaborate and they can socialize, and so really it becomes a sub-community, right? This is a smaller community of a smaller group of people that are working on this particular project. Now this could be a really big project that hundreds or maybe even thousands of people are working on, so it might be a larger community, depending on the use case in the project. But basically now I have my own little bubble where I can come in, I can comment on things, I can post things to the comment stream, I can upload documents, I can see my to-do items. If there's important meetings that are coming up, I can go to my meeting calendar here and post those into my meeting calendar so everyone can see and know when the meetings are going to be, which then can even be synced back to my Outlook calendar, etc. But the idea is this is a bubble around this project. This is a place where that community that's working on this project can come, collaborate, socialize, get the work done, especially if teams are located in different areas. If you have different people in different regions, I have a team in the UK and a team in the United States, and they're working together and collaborating on this particular project. These different communities can really help with that to share the knowledge and the documents and the to-do items, et cetera, to get the work done. So at the end of the day, the focus is really around the people instead of the data within the system. You try to treat it more like, a people system than a database, of information. So when I come in, I can collaborate and I can socialize and I can talk to people, and that's what really helps get the work done, not just me going and putting all these issues into an issue list and they just sit there forever. We've tried to build it into the tool to make it really easy and really simple for you to kind of separate it out and break into the different communities so that you're also just getting relevant information to what you're working on and to the user group that you're a part of, the community that you're a part of, so you can target that data. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Catherine. As they mentioned, we will be having multiple more webinars on the social project management topic, and we'll look into many other features within EPM Live that can help support a social project management lifecycle. But I think that covers it for today. So Catherine, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Matt. And thank you again to all attendees for joining us for today's presentation. And if you would like to learn more about EPM Live, we welcome you to visit epmlive.com, where you can access trials, webinars, white papers, and videos. And also, as promised, you'll see that I've listed all of parts 2, 3, and 4 in this webinar series, including the scheduled dates. So look for email invitations coming soon. And if you have any questions regarding today's webinar, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. My contact information is listed on the screen. And for those of you who need PDU information, you've certainly earned it. And the number is listed on the screen as well. And with that, we'll say goodbye, and we look forward to next time, and have a great day.